Have you ever had the feeling that you've put in a lot of effort to make biryani but it just did not turn out restaurant style? Don't worry, I'm going to share this super detailed recipe with you and your biryani is going to turn out like restaurant style biryani. At the end of the video, I'm going to share a lot of detailed tips. Make sure to follow them. We will start by prepping our colors for the biryani rice. For this, take a 1/4 cup of lukewarm milk. Into this, add a pinch of kesar or saffron. Add some orange food color. Yellow or red should also work. Next, we're going to add a drop of rose essence and a drop of Kewra essence. This essence is really strong, guys. Add just a little bit. If you're using rose and Kewra water, you can add more. Give that a stir and set that aside. Next, we're going to make fresh garam masala for our biryani. This is absolutely important for your biryani to taste nice and aromatic. So we are going to dry roast 3 small bay leaves, 3.5 inches of cinnamon stick, 20 green cardamoms, not black cardamom, 1 star anise, 15 cloves, 1 teaspoon of black peppercorns, half a teaspoon of cumin seeds, and 2 teaspoons of coriander seeds. We are going to dry roast these till they start to smell aromatic. Next, let the ingredients cool down, transfer them into a grinder jar. Also add a small piece of mace or javitri, guys. I'm sorry I forgot to show you that. And we're going to grind all of them into a fine powder. Next, we're going to make fresh ginger garlic paste for our biryani, and this is equal parts of ginger and garlic, a total of 2 tablespoons. Let's marinate our chicken now. I'm using 700 grams of chicken with bone. We're going to first start off with 1 tablespoon of lime juice, 1 tablespoon of Kashmiri red chilli powder, half a teaspoon of normal red chilli powder, or if you like it hotter, just add more. A 1/4 teaspoon of turmeric powder, 1 teaspoon of garam masala powder. Use the fresh garam masala that we made, guys. 1 tablespoon of the fresh ginger garlic paste that we made. 4 tablespoons of plain unsweetened yogurt, just your dahi that you have at home. 1 teaspoon of salt or to taste. A handful of coriander leaves, a handful of mint leaves, and we're going to give all of that a good mix. Guys, if y'all want a detailed recipe of mutton biryani, check out the link in the description. I have a detailed video on chicken tikka masala too, restaurant style recipes, guys. You got to try them. Once all the chicken pieces are coated well, we're going to splash some normal cooking oil and coat our chicken pieces with the oil. It's going to help lock in all the flavors and also keep your chicken moist. Marinate this for 1 hour at least at room temperature, or longer, up to overnight in the refrigerator. Next, let's talk about the basmati rice. We are going to use 700 grams of basmati rice, basically 1:1 chicken to rice. The rice that you use for the biryani should be of top quality. I tried a lot of different types of rice, and the one that I like is the Kohinoor extra long grain basmati rice. Don't worry, they're not sponsoring this video. That's just my preference. I'm sure there are different types of basmati rice that are good, so just make sure to use a good one. We are going to soak the rice in water, room temperature water, for 30 minutes at least. Typically in restaurants, biryani is cooked in a large scale. They use a big handi and they use raw marinated chicken topped with lots of rice. What happens is that the heat and pressure from that quantity of rice makes the chicken nice and tender. When we make biryani at home, we typically don't make it in such large quantities, so it helps to pre-cook the chicken and then top it with the rice so the chicken still turns out nice and tender. Use a heavy bottomed wide pan or handi for this recipe. We are going to add 5 tablespoons of normal cooking oil, and next we are going to add in 225 grams of thinly sliced onion. The onions have to be nice and fine, guys. Only then they are going to fry evenly. You can either shallow fry these onions or deep fry them. Sprinkle some salt so they cook faster, and keep stirring them until they get nice and deep golden brown in color. And when they are starting to get brown, guys, turn down the heat because you don't want your onions to burn. If you're cooking on medium heat, this should take you 4 to 6 minutes. If you're deep frying them, it's obviously going to be faster. Now take out approximately 2 tablespoons of the onion because we are going to use it for garnish later on. Set that aside, and now we're going to continue to cook with these onions. Add half a teaspoon of Shahi Jeera to the onions, give it a quick stir, and add the remaining ginger garlic paste, which should be approximately 1 tablespoon. Guys, the paste that is stuck to the grinder jar, don't throw it off yet. We are going to add that to our biryani water. Next, we are going to add in our marinated chicken. This is why it's important to have a wide pan, guys, because the chicken gets enough room to cook and it gets nice and brown and charred, which adds taste to the biryani. Stir fry the chicken on high heat for 5 minutes. If you stir fry on low heat, the chicken is going to ooze out a lot of liquid. So use medium to high heat, and next add in most of the fresh garam masala powder that we made. This looks like a lot, but it's also going to translate to a lot of taste, guys. Save approximately 1 teaspoon. We are also going to add this to our biryani water. Add lots of green chilies. These are going to add a lot of flavor. It's not going to make your biryani too hot because we haven't slit them or we haven't cut them into small pieces. Turn down the heat, place the lid on, and let the chicken cook through. Now let's season the biryani water. This is 4 liters of water. Take a deep pot where the rice is not going to overflow when it cooks, and add approximately 3 tablespoons of salt. You can also add salt a little bit at a time, stir it in, taste the water, and keep adding salt till the water tastes like sea water. It is much easier to use the correct salt amount in the beginning of the recipe than cooking your entire biryani and then adding salt in the end. You add salt in the end and you mix all the rice and the rice grains break. So just add enough salt to the water right in the beginning of the recipe. Okay, let's check on our chicken. It's been approximately 7 to 10 minutes. Make sure that the chicken is not burning. If you feel like the chicken is starting to stick to the bottom of the pan, just add a splash of water and continue to cook. Guys, my kitchen smells so good. Make sure to cook this. Give some time, cook the chicken slowly. Let the fat render out. Let the spices get roasted, and then it's going to impart all the flavor to your rice, guys. To this, we are going to add the remaining mint leaves. Save a little bit for garnish again. We will also add our remaining coriander leaves. Save a little bit for the end. And we are also going to add in 1 tablespoon of lime juice, guys. Mix all the leaves in, and next we are going to taste for salt. This is also crucial. This chicken is going to mix in with a lot of rice, so make sure it is slightly salty. Next, we are going to transfer our chicken onto a pan or tawa. This will help your biryani rice not burn when it's cooking. Once our biryani water is seasoned with salt, add in the remaining garam masala powder, the remaining ginger garlic paste, 2 tablespoons of lime juice, a splash of oil, not too much oil, if not the grains are going to start to feel greasy. We are going to give all of that a mix, and next we are going to add in 1 teaspoon of Shahi Jeera. Add this to the water, guys. It makes such a difference in taste. I have discovered this recently and I always do this. So the water is going to come to a boil and our rice has been soaking for 30 minutes. Drain off the water and add in the rice into this water. We are going to wait till the rice cooks to approximately 80%. When you press it, it should break and not become pasty. See, it's not really becoming pasty, it just kind of breaks, it snaps. That's when it's ready to transfer over our chicken, which has been placed over the tawa. I just drained off all the water and just directly poured all the rice over the chicken. Spread it evenly. Add the rice as soon as you pour off the water. Don't let it cool down. Next, we are going to add in ghee, lots of ghee, at least 3 tablespoons. Don't you find restaurant style biryanis have a lot of ghee on the bottom? Next, we are going to add in the colored milk that we made with the rose and the Kewra essence. You know how the biryani rice has different grades of orange, red, yellow color? The way to do that is add a little bit of the food coloring to your milk, and as you spread it on the biryani rice, keep adding a little more to the milk and add different shades in different spots of the rice. That's how it's going to turn out looking very beautiful. Next, we're going to garnish with some of the fried onions that we saved up, with our leftover mint leaves, coriander leaves, and one important thing to do is to sprinkle 3 to 4 tablespoons of water on top of the biryani so that the very top layer of rice doesn't dry up, guys. Next, we're going to place the lid on and let it cook on medium heat for 10 minutes or low heat for 15 minutes. Obviously, this timing is going to depend on the rice that you use, the biryani vessel that you use. This is what worked for me. Oh yeah, this is something I forgot to tell you, is that please make sure to close the vent on the lid. I close it with a clove. You can close it with anything that you want. And after this, our biryani should be ready. Your whole kitchen will smell of biryani. That's the way you know that your biryani is done. And this is so tasty, guys. Doesn't this biryani look like restaurant style? It tastes just like that. I hope you follow the recipe in detail and make this. Your dinner party guests are going to be very impressed. One important thing is when you serve the biryani, serve different layers of rice, guys. Give some of the base layer, then some of the top white layer. That's how the restaurants serve it, layer wise. Okay, so tip number 1, use chicken with bone and not boneless chicken, because bones definitely add flavor to the biryani. Make fresh garam masala for this recipe and dry roast your spices to increase the aroma of the biryani. And I like to avoid black cardamom for Hyderabadi biryani. I feel like it tastes a little different. Green cardamoms taste a lot better. If you use fresh ginger garlic paste instead of store-bought, it's going to make a huge difference in the flavor of the biryani. Use equal parts of ginger and garlic and grind it. Do not go overboard with the rose and the Kewra essence. A little bit goes a long way. There are lots of biryanis sometimes that have such strong Kewra essence that when you're adding oil to the water, just add a splash of oil, not too much. If you add too much, all your rice grains are going to be very greasy. Make sure to cook the rice grains till they're only 70 to 80% cooked. If you make it too pasty, in the end your biryani will have halwa, rice halwa. When you're done cooking the chicken, make sure that there is some oily gravy left over that mixes with the bottom layer of the rice, and it really gives biryani a very good taste. Don't skimp on ghee, guys. Add enough ghee. Have you seen any restaurant style biryani that is not full of ghee? Ghee equates flavor. We're not eating biryani every day. We're making it once in a while, so just add enough. When you're done cooking the biryani, let it rest and remain covered for at least half an hour, guys. All the flavors settle down and the rice gets a beautiful texture. Try not to serve it right away. The rice grains turn a little bit pasty. And also don't mix up all the layers of rice. Serve the bottom layer and then a little bit of the top layer, just like they serve it in restaurants.